Timta, Hasa, Fi Paren, Shilpa Timta, Anuki Sayud Shilta, Maku Shil Atsakata Shil Yamasi Nuwabianat, Wahaza Kalun Hasa Hag, Atnanmeya Arbedin Chased. Greetings. I am Plenipotentiary of Earth, Chief Non-Yeshabu Ale of the Atsakata Nation of Yamasee Moors, and this is Now Fact 245. This Now Fact has been brought to you all courtesy of the ISOGG, which is the International Society of Genetics Genealogy. So grateful to them. We joined, so I joined, and the rest of the members of Atsakata Nation obviously are going to join as well. And so now we are a member, and they have the link to Now Facts 245 and 243. Pardon me, 244 and 243. So it is a foregone fact, even though I know, as you can see here, Facebook has messed with the visuals on this video. And not Facebook, pardon me, YouTube has messed with the video, and you see the quality is just terrible. So we're in the right path. And then all the information that was so AI you got recorded is all scrambled. So that means we're doing the correct thing, and this is the fact that didn't want getting out to the world. Oh, this tab just crashed. Okay, this was 243. Just rebooted these. Now, if I click this, okay. So, the International Society of Genetic Genealogy. And of course, they talk about Anuki Sayud Shilta, Maku Shil Atsakata Shil Yamasi Nuwabianat. As you can see here, E1, B1, and where it all came from. All those, these are all the markers, E1, B1A, and then there's E1B, 1B. And showing you how and where they came from in Africa. Also, the YCC Chromosome Consortium, this is their chart here. This is the chart I was looking for, which has all the haplotypes. You can see haplotype E here. So haplotype E, E-M96, that's another code for it. E-M96 is a human Y chromosome DNA haplogroup. It is one of the two main branches of the older and ancestral haplogroup DE. The other branch being haplogroup D, the EM90 clade is divided into two main subclades. Haplotype E. And we go again here. A00 is another way of saying haplotype E, or E-V38. Why are we going through all this? Because of the Now Fact (243), where this was the Sarah A. Tishkoff, PhD.
So this lady, Sarah, she worked for University of Pennsylvania. And her colleagues coined this so-called blood type of us back to Adam. But it gets way
It's not a blood type. It is a genetic marker, E1B1A.
more deeper than what you about to find out. hey, I couldn't make this up even if I tried. Even if I tried. I just went down a rabbit hole for my peoples. I just went down a rabbit hole. And it's going to be a long video. So if you're not for this long video, please move around. But they had a mess around and found out moment when you should have just left it alone. But let's go down this rabbit hole, man. Hey, if you like to donate $1, I greatly appreciate it. But let's watch these receipts about to blow your mind. Now, you can read a little bit. Right here, Sarah. She worked for the University of Pennsylvania. She published a study of the so-called makeup African population, including African Americans, to identifying the prevalence of the E1B1A haplogroup within them, right? So they keep trying to put us back in Africa, but what they discovered is more than what I even thought. I thought I knew it all. But watch these receipts. Go on and take a screenshot. But let's continue. Now, the first discovery, they discovered that we is almost 400,000 years old, so-called African-American man, pushed back with the Y chromosome, and they named it Adam of the Bible. Adam, we was first. That's what they're saying. Go and take a screenshot, and this is what they're saying, right? This is what they're...
So 338,000 years ago, and identified a unique Y chromosome lineage from an African American man. 338,000 years ago, Y chromosome.
They're saying, right? And they said that this Y chromosome lineage led to this. New estimate was found in an African American individual, right? But it's individuals with an S. Now, when they looked up this gene, they thought they were seeing things. They was like, is we seeing what we seeing? Because something is not right. Now, what they said is some African Americans have discovered that they are descendants from the ancient Egyptian pharaoh Ramses III, right? This is what they said. A legal analyst, criminal defense investigators who discovered his ancient lineal lineage to Ramses III, okay? That's just a tip of the iceberg, but let's continue. Now, this is what they discovered by accident. Now, take a screenshot first. But then they said, okay, according to recent DNA studies, some African Americans exhibit genetic connections to ancient Egyptian populations, including Pharaoh like Ramses III, indicating a shared ancestry with the Near East region. Okay? But you can read all this. But then down here, they say genetic similarities to the Near East. They said that DNA analysts of ancient Egyptian mummies show strong genetic link, right? Modern day Israel, Lebanon, Jordan, then to so-called modern sub-Saharan African, right? Right? Some African Americans share Y chromosome haplogroups like so-called E1B1B, whichever that is, right? And these are some of the mommies that they tested that show that we connected to them. But let's continue. Then it went a little more farther. It went a little more farther. The E1B1A haplogroup is found in some African Americans and in peoples with ancient ties to the Israelites.
So now we continue. What's the significance of this? Because there's race and ethnicity definitions. So part of the DNA strands that they are checking and looking into when we go to the definitions here, they said a person having origins in any of the Black racial groups of Africa. This is Black or African American. Now, white is defined as a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. So, because of this chart here, this creates a problem now for those race and ethnicities, showing where the E1B1A and E1B1B genetics come from. So you have two sets. You have Ethiopia, and then you have South Africa, Mozambique, Bantu. So what does this mean? This means that these definitions are going to create a problem, because that means, first of all, Black and African American, there's no such thing as a Black racial group of African. They don't exist. Meanwhile, American Indian or Alaska Native is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of North and South America, including Central America, who maintains cultural identification through tribal affiliation or community attachment. And we know the original people of the Americas are the Olmecs. And where did the Olmecs come from? Uganda. Where is Uganda? Uganda is right in this region here. So the race and ethnicity categories, along with the genetic markers and the use of the language, are all out of sync and have to be synced. First, they got to get rid of Black or African American. Black racial groups of Africa don't exist. They don't even have them as original peoples. So this goes contrary to the phylogeny and the phylogeny and the haplogroup E. This goes contrary to that. So that's wrong. Furthermore, you have the right to self-identify, because the data are based on what? Self-identification. An individual's response to the race question is based upon self-identification. And these are the same definitions. I'm going to leave them right here. These are the same definitions that the NIC, National Institute of Health, the Center for Disease Control, all colleges and universities, not only in the United States, but the world over. So Black cannot be associated with haplogroup E, nor E1B1A or E1B1B. So they have to correct this. And why is that? This is the remedy to solve the computer problem. So white, dark, and carbon need to be associated with this, which will give them a value. Black must be pale, which will have no value, hashtag 6 zeros. And it has to be that, so it's clear that this African woman is one of those haplotypes. She might be a Bantu, and the child came out an albino. So that's a mutation in the gene. So therefore, they can no longer claim anything about who was not first on the planet, who was not entitled to the resources and the minerals on the planet. Why do I say that? Because when I looked up the haplotype for a European, it says their genetic variations and markers on a chromosome tend to be inherited together, and common European haplogroups include H, I, J, K, T, U, V, W, and X. Common European haplogroups are the R1b, is a common Y chromosome haplogroup in Europe, particularly in Western Europe. So that's French, that's Spain, Italy, England. I is another significant Y chromosome haplogroup found in Europe with variations like I1 and I2. J, haplogroup J, is found in levels around 15 to 30% in the Balkans, particularly Greece and Italy. And G, most common in the Caucasus, with decreasing frequencies further eastward. So we know that E, haplotype E, is the oldest haplotype, and all the other races come from there. So for those of you who are Black or African American, your only recourse is you have to get white. White will be associated with E1B1A and E1B1B. So you have to come on my webinar so I show you now that we're linking everything together, and so everyone can see that I am now a member. Let me just put it back up on the screen again. I'm a member of the International Society of Genetic Genealogy. And they have the links for now fact 244 and now fact 243. So no longer can they ignore the fact that we're the first on the planet. That means the planet is ours. For those who want to claim that they're white, if you're Black or African American, you won't be able to do that. That's going to nullify your contracts. So get on my webinar and I'll show you how to get white, and now know that E1B1A and B1B1B are synonymous with white and indigenous. Kashikadur, Kashikadur, Kashikadur. White power, white power, white power.